Hi guys, hail and Merry Meet to everybody. It's MicheleMarieDalene. I know it's nice outside and the company's like I usually am, and I wanted to talk about a topic that might be of importance to new YouTubers that are just starting out. If you're a new YouTuber, this is advice from a seasoned one that's been around for 11 years, 10 years, actually more than that. Holy shit, been 13 years. So I wanted to talk to the new people that are trying to start channels and give some advice to you guys, because you guys have seen a lot of YouTube content over the years, I'm sure, watching it, and have said to yourself is, how can I break through the glass ceiling and get my content to go through this big, just to share a minute. Okay, there you go. Oh, that's why. Make sure you don't accidentally pause it. Okay, so first of all, let's get started about when you're starting out a YouTube channel for the first time. Number one, get verified. That's the first thing you need to do, is get verified. This is easy to do with YouTube. It doesn't take a lot of work. As if you don't, you can only do videos about 15 minutes and that's it. You can't do live streams or anything like that. So I would say just go through the verification process, especially if you're sincere and you really want to grow your content. Okay, number two, once you're on a while, you've been navigating the platform, then your next step is going to be my next step. Don't go out there and start streaming right away. I know a lot of newcomers think that's the way to go, and it can be. However, if you're going to be streaming on mobile, you have to have, I believe this is still true, maybe it's changed, I don't know. You have to have 250 subs, and those 250 subs for many people are going to be hard to get. So let me give you some advice, which is the next part of related to the whole topic. How do you grow a channel? Well, first of all, when you create a channel, you need to come up with a theme. What's the channel about? There's a lot of channels on YouTube that do very well, and things like DIY projects, hobbies, pets, and those channels do fine. But if you're going to use the same areas in your stream, your channel is going to grow slow. And the reason is because everybody else is doing the same content. What if your content is totally unique and one of a kind? Are you going to grow fast? Not necessarily. That's another problem. You see, well, let's say, I got a couple of examples of this. Guy that rides elevators and another guy that collects light bulbs, and turns out the guy that rides elevators also likes fluorescent light bulbs as well. So let's talk about that. If you have an interest that is kind of specialized, your audience is going to be a small number of people, especially when you start out. So don't expect that you're going to go from 0 to 1,000 subs in a single day. That is extremely rare, and you have to be really, really doing some really bang on content to get growth that quick. In fact, if you grow that fast, YouTube might grow suspicious. So don't focus on going viral overnight. I mean, sometimes it happens, but don't expect it. It's just not a regular thing, okay? So, I would say for any new channel is one, don't expect the growth that's going to go up like a rocket. It's not going to happen, okay? I have been on YouTube for 13 years, since 2011. But as long as I've been married to Lummy. Actually, I got on YouTube before I married Lummy. Yeah, but a few weeks. Yeah, okay. But anyway, the point is in 13 years' time, I am up to 1,907 subs. I am monetized. I have beat the requirements for monetization. I am still growing my channel, and I'm still basically a small fry. Okay? That's another thing. When you do hit the requirements for monetization, do not expect that you can give up your day job. In fact, if anything, it's like getting a side hustle. You're going to be now dealing with content creation, editing content, curating content. I'm talking about if you're just doing videos. If you're doing panels or other things, then your content is going to be much harder, because now, let's get some stuff out here, because now you're going to be marketing yourself and videos and stuff on YouTube. That makes a difference. Okay, so don't expect an easy thing. It's a good side hustle. Can some people do YouTube full time? Yes, but for a newcomer, don't think about full time, because it's just not going to happen for most people. Even if you do manage to hit, like 10, 15, 20,000 subs, you're still, it's going to put extra money in your cookie jar, but it's not going to exactly replace the standard 9 to 5, okay? Just isn't. But since I'm talking about the newcomers who are starting out, that's what I'm going to focus on. So don't expect that you're going to get monetized right away, okay? Number 2, pick a topic that you're comfortable with. It could be a hobby. For example, like the guy who collects light bulbs, 2 guys who collect light bulbs, the guy that rides elevators. I'm talking about Parrot 175 and Diesel Doozy. If you are going to do those kind of content, there are things you need to check with, especially with riding elevators, but obviously one of them is getting permission to ride the elevators, especially if they're not public elevators, okay? Now, the next thing is, how do you advertise your channel? So this is key. Advertising. I have seen YouTubers do what I did. They started out advertising on social media platforms like YouTube and like on Twitter and Twitch and Facebook and MySpace and Google Plus when it existed, because it existed when I was there. And that works. But if you don't have a large audience on those platforms in the first place, and then you're going to be dealing with a double subscriber growth. You got to grow your presence in social media, and you have to grow your presence on YouTube. So that means it's going to be double the work. So the first few minimum months you're on YouTube, your content is also, not because any other reason than your lack of experience, is going to suck. It just is. Don't expect that you're going to come up with an Academy Award or an Emmy for best screenplay, okay? It's not. I mean, look at my early videos. They were awful. But they're still there because they are a piece of history of my channel's growth over the years. So, yeah, it really does apply that you're going to be producing content that's just going to be mediocre at first. Next thing, look at camera gear. If you got a cell phone, you've already got the camera. I'm not being facetious when I say this. If you got a cell phone or you got a tablet that has a camera on it and can record video, that's a good starting point. You don't need to invest in fancy, high-tech, mirrorless, digital single lens reflex cameras, or fancy cameras that have 4K, 8K, 16K video. It's just not needed. First thing is, one, if your network is subpar for whatever reason, uploading a video with ultra high resolution is just gonna be a nightmare. target the person who has ADSL. I can tell you that if you're going to upload 4K, 8K, 16K videos on ADSL, you're going to be basically starting a video upload and say in an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, however long it's going to be, it's going to take to upload. Okay? So, using a phone in basic 720p or even lower resolution, 480p, 360p would be good to start with, because you're just going to be getting started. You don't want to have to deal with all the video stuff on top of topics. This is the next thing. If you can, come up with a topic and try to stick with it, like I'm doing here. I could easily diverge and talk about everything else. We will do that in a bit. But I wanted to first focus on the newcomers getting on YouTube. And besides, the two last things are apply. Very important. To have asbestos underwear. You are going to get trolled. It just is. No matter what you do, you don't want to turn off the comments, because then you can't engage your audience, especially in your videos. And that means that your audience is going to feel like you're just out there shouting from the rooftops, and they're just not going to subscribe to that. They're just not going to. Okay? So, you can turn on filtering to keep out the really bad stuff, but even then, even moderated is fine. But make sure, if you do go in the moderated stage, please make sure to check your to be reviewed folders ahead of time, every day. And the last thing, read, understand, and apply YouTube's terms of service. That is not, actually, this should be number one. Make sure you read, understand, and apply the YouTube's terms of service, because that is going to help you either be a channel or it's going to turn you into a greasy spot on YouTube sidewalk. Okay, so make sure you read, understand, and apply the terms of service. Okay, it applies the community guidelines and copyright guidelines. Since we're talking about channels just starting out, once you get around and get demonetized, you got to deal with the advertiser-friendly guidelines as well. So make sure to read, understand, and also have fun, but make sure to also practice safe streaming or videos, which means watch where you're going when you're walking on the road. Don't worry about looking in the viewfinder and going, gee, isn't this beautiful scene? I'm showing you this thing, they missed a sidewalk or missed a curb cut, and the next thing you and your phone go flying and go smash. You end up in urgent care or worse, and your phone is, of course, now broken into a million pieces. So make sure to be aware of your surroundings. Also, if someone does not want to be streamed, does not want to be videoed, do not force it. Okay? Do not force it. I'm telling you this right now. There are a lot of people that do not like being on camera for reasons that is many, but thanks to the way things are on the internet these days, the reasons are valid, trust me. So, give those things in mind when you're starting out, okay? I want to see more people come join the channel. So, unfortunately, I learned the hard way from some of the experiences. So, let me tell you what I would say. A lot of people think YouTubers have to invest a huge amount of money in fancy studios, lights, cameras, and other accessories. It's not needed, really, but, what does matter is you have a solid topic that is, kind of cover things. Oh, yes, if you make mistakes in YouTube and you misquote a fact, or your fact is wrong that you thought was valid and true, just apologize. Put an update, say, I'm sorry, I said that typical cat lives to be about, say, 10 years old, when a typical cat does live to be about 10 to 15, or 15 to 20, and the oldest cat is like 30, 40 years old, which is true. That's absolutely fine. make corrections when you make a mistake, and don't feel bad about it, okay? There's a lot of things out there on the internet today that we see that sometimes people take as gospel, and even though they're mistakes. Try not to fall into that kind of mentality. Who cares? You know, because somebody might care. Somebody might be looking at your channel for information. It's just like if you like to focus on automobiles. Maybe you're a car buff. Maybe you like to talk about different types of engine designs. Comparing saying a overhead C6 or V6 is equal to a 4-cylinder boxer and configuration is slightly wrong. For example, because the boxer engine cylinders are horizontal at 90 degrees, whereas the V6 engine, the cylinders are about anywhere from 30 to 45 degrees. So you want to make sure you get that right. How does it compare to an inline 6 or an inline 4? You know this. You car guys know this. That sometimes, and it's happened to me, is you think you got something in your head, one thing, and next thing you know, you're talking about the wrong thing, and you go, oh, I just had a boxer engine, all the cylinders are at 35 to 40 degrees. I meant to say, no, the V6 engine is. Boxers is at 90 degrees. That's why it's called a boxer, the horizontal cylinders. But that's okay. Just correct it. Of course, this is the reason I suggest 2 videos first. How to edit those videos, please consider downloading a freeware or shareware video editing program. It does not have to be fancy, but there are times when you're going to misspeak things and you can hear it in your takes and go, oh, I got to correct this. Maybe if anything, maybe you don't want to change the flow, but maybe you might want to put a title in there, say, I was incorrect, I meant to say blah 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 instead. Okay, it's okay, no problem about it, no problem, it's fine. And I think that'll be a good starting point for anybody who's starting out on YouTube. But that's the main thing is don't expect that your channel is going to go from 0 to 1,000 in a single day. You do that, YouTube's going to grow very suspicious, like I said earlier. So the person only got 1,907 subscribers in 13 years. So 1,907 subs is not a lot. And I do not make a ton of money on AdSense revenue. I make most of my money on super chats and super stickers. Now shorts, I have some shorts, but they're not really a big money maker for me. Alright, last one, if you do start streaming. Portrait or landscape? Well, this content here could easily have been in portrait, because the fact is I am the main subject matter, not the background. However, this video also is, I like to show the background and the sky and things around me. So yes, in one sense, landscape works too. Whatever you choose, if you ever take any photography in college or high school, you know all about composition and how important it is to come up with the right kind of composition for the shot you're doing. Well, it's the same with doing video. It's true that for a long time, all video was landscape, okay? But it don't have to be, because you can also do something else too. Let's say you want to shoot a video in 4x3, better known as TV set size, okay? TV set 4x3 ratio is mostly kind of close to square, so makes it easier for people to see the video content and focus on that. Everybody likes landscape and widescreen, but sometimes landscape to widescreen doesn't make any sense. If you are going to have external editors for your computer, there's no reason why you cannot convert an aspect ratio of your video. For example, just for the heck of it, I'm going to convert this into 4:3 PAL, because why not? It's not like I need to have all this extra background on the big picture. It wouldn't hurt any, but standard definition PAL works fine for most things. Okay. Now, next topic. Walker. We fixed the wheels, but they roll so darn easy that it is very easy for this walker to totally get out of hand. I do have my wrench / spanner with me, so I can adjust them as needed. But I'm thinking is I might want to deliberately put some resistance in the rear wheels so that it's not going to roll. I guess the wind took this thing a couple days ago and it blew it behind me because it was a windy day. And so I have it in a triangular T-stop function so that it won't roll off. Because the wheels have like a very low coefficient of friction, and it will roll, and it will just go anywhere it wants. Now, the way the wind's blowing, I'm concerned it would blow right into the parking lot. So, you just gotta be careful with that, okay? So, maybe I might deliberately try to find a way to put some resistance on the wheels so that they don't roll that easy. But it works fine. It glides great. I mean, it's very hard. It's very easy to move around. It's bigger wheels, so they don't suffer from all the dips and cracks and once the sidewalks. But the too easy rolling is a bit of a turnoff. Okay. The other thing is that I am very excited about today's channels, my growth. Lemmy's channel is growing. Carmen made a quick debut visit today on my show. She was on Lemmy's show yesterday when Noodles asked her about toilet paper. If you want to look at the history of toilet paper, it's quite interesting. Of course, you understand why it was created, right? In indoor plumbing, no one's going to want to have piles of Sears rollback high log sitting in their bathroom after they take a poo. And in fact, honestly, seriously, Sears rollback catalog with the newspaper would probably clog up your toilet, your pipe, your sewer lines. So that's why toilet paper was kind of created. It was needed to work with indoor plumbing effectively. We did mention the newsprint. We did not mention the old famous Sears and Roebuck catalog that was common in many farms. That many often old ones were left outside in the outhouse, specifically for that purpose of wiping your bum. That was a very common thing in real life. That was long in newspapers. Everybody had newspaper subscription anyway, so the newsprint from a couple days ago could easily be reused to wipe your bum that day. So people did do that. Laves were a thing. Yes, people did use corn cobs. Now, you're probably going to ask yourself, why did they use corn cobs? Well, because a lot of them, had to process their own chicken feed, which meant that they had to basically take the whole kernels off the corn cobs. And then they would, of course, they'd use it for their own meals. But then again, for the chickens, when they would feed them a little corn, they did have, later on, they had to process large feed companies produce corn, but for small farms, it was pretty much you do it job. You grew the corn, you harvested the corn, You shuck the corn. You use some of it for your own use, and then the rest of the stuff, the leftover corn, would go to feeding the chickens. And often the corn cobs would go to the hogs. They didn't always have to. So some of the hogs would get the corn cobs. Now, if you happen to be a farm that didn't have any hogs, then you probably ended up with a lot of corn cobs. So, if you do use corn cobs, they need to be fresh. When I mean fresh, it's like you don't want to have a scratchy, dry corn cob wiping off your bum, okay? It has to be moist. It has to be soft enough that it's not going to hurt as bad. And trust me, if you have hemorrhoids, you don't want corn cobs. Please don't do that if you have hemorrhoids. Okay, please, just being serious here. You already enough paid. You don't need to make it worse. So when those created indoor plumbing became a thing, as I said, hotels were the first to want to use toilet paper. Actually, it was a hotel in New York. I think that was the first to use toilet papers, and H.H. Scott produced some of the first toilet paper. We still know them today as Scott's, right? Scott's toilet tissue, facial tissue. Of course, they make it now out of a process that makes it softer. But back then, the toilet paper was a little bit more stiff, and it looked more like adding machine paper. But it was the standard width, but 6 inches, or 5 to 6 inches. But it was much rougher paper, and so they came up with a method to make the toilet paper less stiff, more absorbent, and basically less valuable. Removing some of the cellulose material in the toilet paper to make it softer. Okay, it's not angel soft, but it's softer, okay? Because before that time, toilet paper was really kind of a luxury. It was kind of posh, and so people really didn't want to throw such good paper down the loo. So people would just go, they would use it like to make homemade notepads. In other words, they would put 5-inch rolls in, and because it was, like I said, it was like adding machine paper, then they could use it to write notes, and then they could peel it off and give it to the kids, whatever, for chores lists or things like that. Which was not what it was for, but people did it. So once they came up with the process to make the toilet paper softer, thinner, and lighter and easier to use from Scott's, that is when you began to see toilet paper quickly go the way of just to the toilet and the bidet. It's pretty much what happened. I guess that's about it. I mean, other than the fact is we had a good morning show today, as I said earlier, and we're reaching out to continue to grow the channel. And I gotta go get ready, head over to Krista's house at 4:30, which doesn't give me much more time here to talk. But I thought it was a good show. I thought, Lomi, you did a better job on the show than I did. Oh, thanks. I think yours did fine too. I just think mine was better. I was surprised when you said, "Hey, you did a good job." No, you did. You really did. Even Noodles said you did a great job yesterday with Slingshot Warrior, Noodles, Tiger Kitty, Gitchy came on. You reached out. You're growing, people. Your channel's growing. Yes, it is. Now I just gotta find a way to finally make the hair look good. It looked fine, other than the part on one side was a little bit off, I think. Yeah. Well, I mean, it still was nice though. It was a good show. It was a good show. And you're doing one this weekend? Sunday? Yes. Yeah, why not? Don't know when to talk about, but sure. Why not? I'll do one Sunday on my channel too. But we gotta continue to get my subscribers up, guys. So what you say about new channels, does that apply to channels that are still existing and just still kind of struggling to grow? Absolutely. It applies to them too. In fact, I want to say one thing else too. Never do more content than you're ready to deal with. What do I mean by that? Think of it. Which means if you're comfortable doing a show a week, you do a show a week. If you're comfortable doing a video a day, you do a video a day. Start out with what you know, what you like, what you do, and then you can go up to from there. Exactly. Exactly. You know, because a lot of YouTubers go, oh my God, I gotta do 15, 20 live shows a week, and no. Absolutely not. No. Yeah, you do what you can handle, what you feel comfortable doing. So if you only can manage to do 5 a week, or 5 videos a week, because your work schedule, you do 5. If you cannot do any, don't do any. It's not like they're going to be deleted on you, unless you delete them. Or if YouTube finds them offensive, which is why you said, make sure to read, understand, and apply all terms of services. Absolutely, you got to. Don't use copyrighted content without permission. I didn't mention that specifically, but that's a very good point, Lone. It is really easy to do that. I've done it where I've used content on my channel without permission, because one time YouTube was even more picky about it than they are now. But normally, content where the publishers want to share revenue with you, this is more for monetized channels, you're fine. As shared revenue on your channel, you can do pretty well. Yeah. So even if they take like 20% revenue, whatever they want, up to 50, it's a lot better when they used to take 100% every time. They used to have it where there was all or nothing proposition. Meaning, if you did a video, let's say you had a song on it, and the publisher says, we're taking 100% of your revenue, so all the work you put into it is nothing. Nothing will come out of it. You won't make any money. You won't make no ads and revenue. You won't be able to run ads on it. You know, which kind of is demoralizing to content creators everywhere. It was. So YouTube started negotiating with these publishers saying, hey, let's go. Let's be a little more reasonable on them, on content creators, because in a way, when they feature a song by your artist, it's free publicity for your artist, especially older artists that may have faded into obscurity. And publishers, for example, a lot of Carmen Miranda's music, so many people will never ever hear it, because they never, this generation has no idea who Carmen Miranda is. And if you start sharing revenue, with that person, the publisher in Brazil, you're going to make money, they're going to make money, audience is going to listen to music they've never heard before, audience is going to be excited, and that's a good thing. So that's one reason I say straight out, make sure to respectfully understand that you as a content creator are going to be the man or woman that is going to be for the future as the one that's going to help preserve the public awareness of certain music. But if your content creators are going to get so greedy that they don't want to share revenue, then just avoid them. I'll just avoid them. If I can, I'll delete them. I'll just say fine. You don't want to be fair and share revenue, then I'm not going to use your content in my shows. Period. And that's just the way I feel about it. Now, when you share revenue with me, I share revenue with you. You know, I mean, 50-50 is reasonable. Some cases it's a little extreme. If it's like, especially if it's a 10-minute video and it's only like 10 seconds a song, and all of a sudden you want 50% of that. But if it's a video, if it's something where the music is becoming a key part of the component of the video, that's completely different, and I have no problem with that. So the thing is make sure to read and understand all the rules, terms of service, and stuff with YouTube, just to make sure to protect yourself from stupid things to happen. Okay, now the walker. As I said, the problem with this walker is this thing is like really coasts really well, and to the point where you can basically find your walker rolling out into the parking lot if you're careless. So what I'm saying to myself is I need to find a way to make this walker less likely to roll. So the easiest way to do that for right now is to do what I did here, which is put it like that so that the wheels can't really go that far. It kind of hobbles it. But if you want to do a long-term, more permanent fix, this is where the brakes come in, because it's got roller bearings in it, it is really wicked smooth. It's like I can really go really wicked fast with this thing. That's good and bad. It's good because the coefficient of friction is lower, so I have less problem pushing it along. But at the same time, because the coefficient of friction is lower, it's just gonna roll. Yeah, it's gonna roll pretty good. Yeah. Well, I have to get ready to head back to the house. As I said, I had no problem with the walker today getting here, but just in case, I have a spanner in my purse to fix the wheels. So if I need to, because yesterday I didn't have a spanner with me, and so what happened was the wheels were just like jamming up, and I tried to fix up my keys. This is my little spanner here in my purse. It's a 1/2 inch wide spanner, so now I at least can fix wheels in a hurry if I need to. I have 2 of those actually. Came with my wheels for these I installed, so I have 2 spanners and an Allen wrench, 2 Allen wrenches. I don't have anything that needs Allen wrenches, but I have them. So now I have Allen wrenches and spanners so I can fix things. Sounds good. Yeah. Tomorrow it's gonna be warm, and I'm gonna be honest when I say this, guys. I do not know if I'm going to Cummings tomorrow. Okay. No disrespect to Cummings. I love the Stoda. I love to come in here, but if it's gonna be really hot and humid and sticky and stuff, I'm probably not coming. Okay. Pretty much the same way. Pretty much the rest of the week, until maybe on Saturday or something when the heat breaks. Then I'll probably come back out again, because I have to remember I can only tolerate so much heat, and if it gets too hot, I start to smell pretty bad, and like old rancid cheese, and nobody wants to smell that. Okay, just I do take a bath every so often. Probably will be taking a bath on Wednesday again, because I got a feeling I'm going to be not far from stinking, that's for sure. So I probably will be taking a bath again this week, because of the heat and the humidity and the bugs. Oh, by the way, speaking of heat, the utility grid is already under impact of the heat dome. It's just coming east. There's going to definitely be a possibility there may be power shortages. Please plan ahead. Okay, if you know, for example, that you don't think you're going to have reliable power for whatever reason, try to prevent running anything that's going to make adding additional load to the power grid, especially during the peak of the day when everybody's been running their air conditioners and charging their EVs. You might want to seriously consider doing things at night or late night sleeping, for example, before you go to bed at night. If you have an EV, plug it into your charger when you're sleeping, to top off the battery. Same thing with everything else that uses rechargeable batteries, including cell phones and things like that. In refrigerators, as I already did, because I had to, I have two refrigerators. I have a big one and a little one. The little one I have it on very warm. It's still a little chilly inside, but it's not going to keep your milk good. But if you have things like medications or preparations that need to be kept reasonably cool, put them in the little fridge and they'll be fine. Big fridge is set to normal fridge temperatures. And I gotta get some more food for it anyway, because it's running low on food. I gotta get some food next week. Pets, make sure that your cats, dogs, whatever pets you have their appropriate water to stay hydrated and healthy. That's not a minor detail, so please keep that in mind. So more food, water for your pets is going to be important. And of course, if you gotta run the air conditioner, please make sure your coils of the air conditioner are clean. It helps so much. If you happen to have access to a garden hose, this is something you should do at the beginning of your season, but I'll tell you anyway. Go ahead and rinse out the coils of your air conditioner to get any dirt and crud out of that coils. Okay? That's a really big step in the right direction. Same is true with your refrigerator. If you can get access to the coils on it, or if you don't have the ability, contact your appliance technician to make sure that the refrigerators are clean, so that they are going to be running in tip-top shape. Anything else? No. Stay hydrated yourself, not just your pets. Absolutely. Get lots of water, dress appropriately. Please do not wear a suit and tie, for example, if you're sitting in a stark hot sun. If you must, because of performance or work, whatever, try to stay hydrated and stay cool as much as you can. Okay? I want my viewers to live a long time. I want you to have long, happy lives, and I just want to make sure that you don't fall into that situation. So now, I'm just going to say before we go, is that I really loved having all of you on the morning show today. I do hope that you will be with us on the show, like, really soon. You know what's kind of weird about this, legs in this, oh no, I see what they did. This is one that has no bench on the side, on these two. Okay, it's the same frame as this one, which does have a bench. Except that tubing is longer. Yeah, different kind of tubing. Different. That's a U shape. That's an L shape. So, but anyway, now let's go. And yes, I am going to convert this into standard definition PAL format, because this is pretty much is appropriate for that video resolution. It doesn't have to be super widescreen. And I've done a PAL video before, and it worked out fine. And it's just a good way to don't make more work for yourself uploading a huge honking video with extra resolution if you don't need to. I mean, if you're doing a tour of a building, you might want that extra picture quality, but for this, no need to. And I'm not doing portrait mode either, so screw that. Great. Alright guys, so thanks for watching this. See you later. Stay out of trouble. Okay? Bye-bye. Bye-bye guys.